Treasurer, good morning.
Nice to be with you, Lisa.
Now, you wanted to see a roadmap from Victoria. The Herald Sun says it has this draft that suggests lockdown for another 2 weeks and then a pretty slow reopening. Is that your idea of a roadmap?
Well, Lisa, I note that that's a leaked document. I'll wait the final plan that has been promised by the Premier for Sunday. It's important that it's a fair dinkum plan. It's important that it provides confidence and certainty to Victorian families, but also to Victorian businesses who want to open their doors in a COVID-safe way and who want to get people back to work. It's important that people have hope for the future and they have that road out rather than talk about a longer road in.
Had you seen this document at all?
I've only seen the reports in today's Herald Sun, but obviously I will wait the final plan from the Premier on Sunday.
The suggestion that lockdown could be another 2 weeks, the other sort of opening of schools and retails. You were on this program on Monday. You were pretty fired up about all of that.
I certainly was, and I'm very passionate about my state, but I'm even more passionate about my country. And Victoria is a quarter of the national economy. And while the grand final's moving to Queensland, we will have, according to Treasury, 4 MCGs full of people who will be unemployed or will see their hours reduced to zero as a result of the stage 4 restrictions. So there's a huge economic and human toll to these stage 4 restrictions. So the quicker we come out of them in a COVID safe way, the better the economy will be and the better Victorians will be.
Right, so we've got a month till the budget. Did you see anything out of yesterday, hear any arguments from various economists and perhaps even the opposition that's made you change the way you're going to approach this budget?
Well, we've always been sticking to our JobMaker plan, and that's to see more people get back to work, and that will be the focus of the October 6th budget. It's important to recognise, Lisa, that of the 1.3 million Australians who either lost their job or saw their hours reduced to zero since the start of the crisis, already around 700,000 or more than half are back at work. And we really have a national economy that's operating at 2 speeds. There's Victoria and then there's the rest. And outside of Victoria, the jobs are coming back. So obviously our first focus is to get the virus under control, but once that occurs, you start to see restrictions eased. We'll continue to bring forward infrastructure investment. We'll continue to provide tax incentives for more business investment. We'll continue to invest in skills. That is one issue that we're considering because we did legislate the tax cuts after the last election. They were in 3 stages, and more money into people's pockets means more spending, and more spending means more jobs.
But you've got to give them the confidence. You've got to give them the confidence to spend.
We absolutely need to do, and the best way to do that is to ease the restrictions. That's why what happens in Victoria is so critical to the state's recovery, but also to the national recovery, because it goes right to that issue of confidence. And if businesses can see a roadmap out, then they can take the decisions to hire more people. They can take the decisions to invest in growing their business.
But the RBA is saying unemployment's still going to be 10% by the end of the year, 9% by the middle of next year. How do those numbers sit with you?
Well, unemployment's going to be elevated for some time, but this is the national challenge that's ahead of us. And it does follow the single largest economic shock that Australia, indeed the world, has ever seen. I mean, to put it in perspective for you, Lisa, during the height of the GFC, the global economy fell by just 0.1%. OECD is now expecting the global economy to fall by a full 6% this year.
Yeah,
it dwarfs what happened in previous crises.
Yeah, I know. People have seen it. They're waking up this morning watching you and saying, well, how long's this recovery going to take?
I think it's going to take years, but because of the government's record investments, people are starting to get back to work. So we have to have patience, but we also need to retain our focus on helping to grow the economy. That's going to involve reforms. That's going to involve continued fiscal support. We're absolutely ambitious. We're ambitious to create more jobs.
But are you going to be ambitious with the budget?
We're absolutely going to be ambitious in the budget. What you'll see is the next stage of our JobMaker plan. You've already seen an unprecedented level of support, and the focus has been to date on fiscal policy. The reason being is that monetary policy is largely but exhausted. During the GFC, interest rates were able to be cut by around 425 basis points. That was the equivalent of injecting into the economy $100 billion over a 12-month period. We don't have the luxury of movements on monetary policy to boost demand. It has to be done by fiscal policy, and that's what we're undertaking right now.
We're almost out of time. JobKeeper, JobSeeker, absolutely almost everyone is saying you cannot taper it now. You cannot start pulling it back. Worst decision.
Well, we've actually extended and expanded the program.
Yeah, but you're still
for an additional
tapering
6
it.
months. We are tapering it. Indeed, that's what Anthony Albanese and the Labor opposition was calling for, and that's what we have done.
So you haven't changed your view on it, on the timeline of it?
We've extended, we've expanded the program. It's a record program in terms of the cost, the investment of that program has been described by the Governor of the Reserve Bank, Lisa, as a remarkable program. And we know that together with our other additional supports, it's helped create 700,000 jobs. But the important message for your listeners is JobKeeper is maintained for another 6 months. And the expectation is that it will respond and it will flex to the demand that's needed across the economy. And there'll be more Victorian workers who are on JobKeeper in the months ahead than from all the other states and territories combined.
Treasurer, thanks for your time.
Always a pleasure.